Imagine the ocean as a massive open highway, but unlike the roads we drive on, the sea seems limitless and rule-free at first glance. However, busy shipping areas are anything but chaotic. They're governed by strict rules, and one of the most important is Rule 10 of the International Regulations for Preventing Collisions at Sea, or COLREGS. This rule sets out how ships must use traffic separation schemes, essentially the ocean's own version of multi-lane highway. In this video, we'll break down what these maritime highways are, why they exist, and how Rule 10 keeps global shipping safe and efficient. Traffic Separation Scheme, or TSS, is like a multi-lane highway on the water. It organizes ship movements into specific lanes, each with a set direction, and includes buffer zones to keep opposing traffic safely apart. Just as you wouldn't drive the wrong way on a highway, ships must follow these invisible lanes to prevent collisions. TSSs are marked on nautical charts and monitored by coastal authorities, making them essential for busy waterways like the English Channel or the Strait of Malacca. For modern navigation, busy straits were a dangerous free-for-all. Ships often collided, causing oil spills and disasters. The International Maritime Organization introduced TSSs to separate traffic flows, much like how highways separate northbound and southbound lanes. Today, these schemes are found in the world's busiest waterways, preventing chaos and keeping both cargo and crew safe. Rule 10's first commandment: always proceed in the correct traffic lane following the general direction of traffic flow. If you're heading north, use the northbound lane, if south, the southbound. This prevents head-on collisions and keeps traffic predictable. In the Dover Strait, for example, ships are strictly separated by direction. Violating this rule can result in hefty fines, as seen when a fishing boat was fined $34,000 for going the wrong way. You might think, it's just water, I can go anywhere. But TSS lanes are real even if you can't see them. They're marked on charts and monitored by authorities. Ships that ignore these boundaries risk fines, criminal charges, and endanger everyone on the water. The invisible lines of a TSS are as real as painted lanes on a highway. Between the traffic lanes lies the separation zone, a buffer like the grassy median on a highway. Rule 10 says to keep clear of this area unless absolutely necessary. It's not a shortcut or a place to cruise. Its purpose is to keep opposing traffic apart and reduce the risk of head-on collisions. Using it without a valid reason defeats its purpose and puts everyone at risk. In entering or exiting a traffic lane, Rule 10 says to do so at the end of the lane if possible. If you must join or leave from the side, do it at a shallow angle, never cut across sharply. This is like merging onto a highway. You blend in gradually, not at a right angle. Sharp entries can cause confusion and accidents, especially since large ships can't stop or turn quickly. Crossing a traffic lane should be avoided, but if you must, do it at a right angle 90 degrees to the traffic flow. This minimizes the time you spend in the lane and reduces collision risk. Think of it like crossing a busy street. You go straight across, not diagonally, to get out of the danger zone as quickly as possible. The inshore traffic zone is the area between the traffic lanes and the coast. It's like the shoulder of a highway meant for small vessels, sailboats, and fishing boats. Large ships should avoid this area unless they're heading to a nearby port or in an emergency. This keeps smaller, slower vessels safe from massive cargo ships. The separation zone is generally off-limits except for crossing, joining, leaving, emergencies, or fishing. It's not a place to anchor or cruise. Think of it as the no-man's land between highway lanes. Only enter if you have a specific, valid reason. Where TSS lanes begin or end, ships converge from multiple directions. These are high-risk areas like busy highway interchanges. Rule 10 requires extra vigilance here as ships are joining, leaving, and changing speeds. It's not the time to relax. Be alert and ready for unpredictable movements. Anchoring in a TSS is strictly prohibited except in emergencies. It's like parking your car in the middle of a highway, dangerous and illegal. Other ships can't stop quickly and a stationary vessel becomes a major hazard. Only anchor in a TSS if there's no other option and it's a true emergency. If your vessel isn't using the TSS, stay well clear of it. Don't cruise alongside or near the lanes just to watch the big ships. This creates unpredictability and increases the risk of accidents. Give the TSS a wide berth and let the traffic flow smoothly. Fishing vessels and small boats must not impede ships following traffic lanes. Large, fast-moving ships have priority and need plenty of space to maneuver. If you're in a small or slow vessel, stay out of the way and use the inshore zone or keep clear of the TSS entirely. Some ships, like those maintaining navigation buoys or repairing undersea cables, are exempt from Rule 10 when necessary for their work. These exemptions are specific and closely monitored. You can't just claim you're doing maintenance to break the rules. Authorities will check. Violating Rule 10 isn't just a technicality, it carries serious consequences. Wrong-way navigation can result in massive fines, as seen in the Dover Strait. Anchoring in a TSS can lead to criminal prosecution and vessel detention. Causing a collision can mean multi-million-dollar damages, environmental disasters, and even jail time for ship officers. Collision in a TSS can have devastating effects: loss of life, oil spills, massive economic losses, and port closures that ripple through global trade. That's why the penalties are so severe. Rule 10 exists to prevent these disasters and keep the world's shipping lanes safe and efficient. Sum up Rule 10: stay in your designated lane, don't use the separation zone for cruising, join and leave lanes at the ends or at shallow angles, cross at 90 degrees if you must, and keep small vessels out of the main lanes. No anchoring in the TSS, and when in doubt, give way to bigger ships. These simple rules keep everyone safe. Whether you're studying maritime law, working in shipping, or just curious about global trade, understanding Rule 10 is crucial. Every product you order online, every gadget you use, and much of the world's fuel travels through these maritime highways. With autonomous ships and AI navigation on the rise, these rules are more relevant than ever. Modern ships are increasingly equipped with AI navigation systems. These systems are programmed to follow Rule 10, ensuring safe passage through busy waters. Understanding the logic behind these rules helps us see how maritime AI will operate and why following them is non-negotiable. Rule 10 isn't arbitrary, it's built on decades of experience, accidents, and near misses. The ocean may seem like endless open space, but in busy shipping lanes, it's as crowded and structured as a city highway at rush hour. The rules are there because the risks are real and the stakes are high. Massive ships can't stop or turn quickly. Respecting Rule 10 isn't just about following the law, it's about understanding the physics of these giants. Giving way and staying clear is not only smart, it's essential for everyone's safety. A single incident in a TSS can disrupt global supply chains, closing ports and delaying shipments worldwide. Rule 10 keeps the world's $14 trillion shipping industry running smoothly, ensuring that goods, fuel, and resources reach their destinations safely and on time. Next time you check a marine traffic app or watch ships from the shore, remember, every movement is guided by rules like Rule 10. The invisible highways of the ocean are carefully managed to keep everyone safe, from massive tankers to tiny fishing boats. If you're studying to become a maritime officer or working in shipping logistics, Rule 10 is a foundational concept. It's not just about passing exams, it's about real-world safety and responsibility. Understanding these rules prepares you for a career on the world's busiest waterways. Following Rule 10 isn't just about avoiding collisions, it's also about protecting the environment. Collisions can cause oil spills and other disasters that devastate marine ecosystems. By keeping ships separated and traffic orderly, Rule 10 helps prevent environmental catastrophes. Authorities take Rule 10 violations seriously. Coastal authorities monitor TSS areas using radar and patrols. Fines, vessel detentions, and even criminal charges are real consequences for breaking these rules. The law is enforced to keep everyone safe and the system running smoothly. Many people think the ocean is a free-for-all, but the reality is much more structured. TSS lanes, separation zones, and inshore areas all have specific rules. Misunderstandings can lead to dangerous situations, so it's vital to know and respect the system. Rule 10 is recognized and enforced worldwide. No matter where you are, the same principles apply. This global standard keeps international shipping safe and efficient, connecting continents and economies through well-managed maritime highways. The ocean may look like endless freedom, but in reality it's a carefully managed network of highways. Rule 10 is one of the most important chapters in the Maritime Rulebook. By staying in your lane, respecting the rules, and understanding the reasons behind them, you help keep the world's oceans safe, efficient, and thriving for everyone.